Nissan has turned over a new leaf. Japan's second-largest automaker on Wednesday revealed a complete makeover of what was the world's first mass-market battery electric vehicle. And with its debut, the 2018 Nissan Leaf becomes the latest BEV to take direct aim at the new Tesla Model 3, in the process helping transform battery cars from a low-volume niche into what could soon become a major part of the automotive mainstream. Every major automaker, and virtually all second-tier manufacturers, are now working on battery electric vehicles, driven by a mix of tightening government emissions and mileage mandates, as well as across-the-fingers hope that consumers will start to buy in. Americans will get many more choices of electric cars. By 2020, as many as 20 long-range battery electric vehicles, including the Leaf, are expected to be offered in U.S. showrooms. And that number, by some industry forecasts, could double by the middle of the next decade. Battery cars were a tough sell when there were only a handful of options, said Brian Mangano, Nissan's director of EV marketing and sales strategy, during a U.S. media unveiling in Las Vegas. It's the awareness that comes with more entrants into the market. It's validation of the EV as a viable mobility option. Those things help us along. It also helps that the latest wave of products, and those now on the drawing board, are beginning to address key EV shortfalls, such as range, price, performance, and charging times. Delivering an estimated 150 miles per charge, the 2018 Nissan Leaf nearly doubles what a buyer of the first-generation battery electric vehicle could have expected when it launched in 2010. Addressing so-called range anxiety is one of the most critical steps in enhancing the appeal of BEVs, said Joe Filippi, senior analyst at Auto Trends Consulting. The Gen 2 Leaf actually falls short of what other recent additions targeting the new battery car mainstream can manage between charges. The Chevrolet Bolt EV is EPA rated at 238 miles, and while the base car just tops 200 miles, Tesla plans to add a 300-mile optional battery pack for its Model 3. Though the Japanese maker has not confirmed specifics, officials in Japan are indicating that they also will have an optional battery pack on sale next year that would boost range to at least 225 miles. Cheaper than a Model 3. For now, price will be a big plus for Nissan, at just $29,990 for its base Leaf, well below those current competitors. And from that a buyer can subtract $7,500 in federal tax credits and, where applicable, state incentives, as well. The new Leaf adds a number of new tech features, as well, including the semi-autonomous Pro Pilot Assist system and e-pedal. Under most conditions, a motorist will be able to drive using just a throttle, even coming to a complete stop on a hill. The 2018 Leaf takes a major detour, meanwhile, when it comes to styling. The original BEV followed the strategy pioneered by the Toyota Prius hybrid, adopting a sci-fi-like design that was meant to help it stand out on the highway. While some manufacturers continue to follow that strategy, notably Honda with its hydrogen-powered Clarity FCV and Hyundai with its electrified Ioniq, most are shifting back to more conventional styling. What matters more, said Nissan's Mangano, is good packaging. Add easier charging. Since the original Leaf's 2010 debut, that has become far less of a challenge. There are now thousands of public chargers located around the country, including a growing number of so-called Level 3 systems that can deliver as much as an 80% battery top-off in anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Charge your car wirelessly. The option to charge at home is a plus for many BEV buyers since they might never have to worry about a fill-up again. They soon might not even need worry about plugging in. When the Mercedes-Benz S550e comes to market later this year, it will be able to recharge simply by pulling over an inductive mat, similar to the way some cell phones now charge up wirelessly. Nissan is widely expected to make a similar feature available to the new Leaf at some point during its expected 6 to 8 year life cycle. "This is definitely coming," Jesse Schneider, the chairman of Wireless Task Force put together by the Society of Automotive Engineers, said during an industry event in San Diego last February. The 2018 Leaf also addresses several other concerns about first-generation battery cars. Its battery is smaller and denser than the original car, improving vehicle weight and handling. The motor drive system, meanwhile, makes 37% more horsepower and 33% more torque, and an even more powerful upgrade is in the works for next year, as well. While early battery cars had a reputation for being what automotive aficionados might call stone ponies, the reality is that there's a lot of reason for performance fans to like electric propulsion. Unlike gasoline engines that have to rev up, electric motors make maximum tire spinning torque the moment they are turned on. Consider that the Tesla Model S P100D with optional ludicrous mode can match the acceleration of the new 840 horsepower Dodge Challenger Demon, both launching from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. Startup Lucid Motors is working up a new model, the Lucid Air, that will approach the top speed of the $2.7 million Bugatti Chiron, already being tested at well over 200 mph. Luxury brands now adding electric. Other performance-oriented brands planning to offer pure EVs include Aston Martin, Lamborghini, Porsche, and Audi. On the mass market side, expect to see plenty of other automakers try to push into the low $30,000 bracket. It helps that lithium-ion batteries that cost as much as $1,000 per kilowatt-hour when the original Leaf debuted are now dropping to somewhere between $100 and $150 per kilowatt-hour. For a vehicle with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery, that adds up to a reduction of as much as $54,000 in factory costs. The first-generation Nissan Leaf has been the world's best-selling battery electric vehicle since its debut. It's unlikely to retain the crown for long. Tesla is forecasting sales of the Model 3 could reach 400,000 next year. For its part, the Japanese maker is looking at a more modest 90,000 Leaf sales annually. But, combined with all the other battery electric vehicles coming to market, that would go a long way towards transforming the electric niche into a true part of the automotive mainstream. The new Leaf can travel about 50% further on a single charge than its predecessor, according to the firm. But it still falls short of the ranges offered by other recent electric cars from Tesla and General Motors. Other updates included a new one-pedal driving system, auto parking tech and a more modern design. More than 283,000 Leaf cars have been sold since the Japanese firm launched the brand in 2010, making it the world's most purchased electric car. However, it is facing increasing competition in the fast-developing green car market, fueled in part by tightening emissions standards around the world. The general industry standard for model cycles is around 6 to 7 years, so the launch of the second-generation Leaf falls neatly into this timeframe, commented Ian Fletcher, principal automotive analyst at the IHS Markit consultancy. However, the next 3 to 4 years look set to see further upgraded and brand-new vehicles, and manufacturers in this space still have everything to play for. What's new? The new Leaf, on sale in Japan from October and elsewhere early next year, has a longer range thanks to a bigger 40 kilowatt-hour battery. Because different territories have different tests for electric vehicles, the new Leaf's quoted range varies according to where it will be sold. In Europe it is 378 kilometers, 235 miles. In Japan it is 400 kilometers, 248 miles. In the US it is 241 kilometers, 150 miles. Electric cars tend to achieve about 20 to 25% below the European quoted figures in real-world tests. However, Nissan says the introduction of a one-pedal system, in which a button press turns the accelerator pad into an e-pedal that can start, accelerate, brake and stop the vehicle, will provide added energy efficiency gains. Motorists can, however, drive with both a separate accelerator and brake pedal if they prefer. Chris Lilly, content manager for the Next Green Car news site, said while the new model was not groundbreaking, it should be more appealing to drivers. It takes every element of the old Leaf and improves upon it, and adds a whole lot of new features, he said. Those improvements also include an automated parking system, called ProPilot Park, that will take control of the vehicle to maneuver it into tricky spaces. The system can handle parallel parking, according to the firm, and can deal with up to 7-point turns. Drivers can also use dashboard controls to make adjustments to the parking spot in advance if they feel it is necessary. The model also automates single-lane highway driving. Prices will start at €3,150,360, £22,220, Nissan said. The Japanese carmaker said it would offer a higher-priced model, with greater power and range, next year. How it compares? Competition in the electric vehicle market is intensifying as major automakers join specialized manufacturers to develop high-tech, low-emission cars. Electric vehicle technology is advancing rapidly, costs are falling quickly and range is improving, said Professor David Bailey, an automobile expert at Aston Business School. But despite boosting its range, rival models can go further than Nissan's latest offering. The Tesla Model 3 can run between 354 km to 499 km, 220 to 310 miles, according to U.S. tests. It starts at $35,000, £26,850. General Motors Chevy Bolt, which is rebadged as the Opel Ampera E in Europe, has a quoted range of 238 miles, 383 kilometers, according to the same measurement system. It starts at about $38,000, £29,150. U.S. automaker Tesla is one of the pioneers in the electric vehicle industry, and despite recently releasing its cheapest model to date, it has traditionally catered to the premium end of the market. The Nissan Leaf faces more direct competition from models including the Volkswagen e-Golf, BMW i3 and Hyundai's Ioniq. The Leaf is not going to challenge Tesla, Next Green Car's Mr. Lilly said. But the Leaf has price and manufacturing capacity on its side. You're getting a lot less range but you're paying a lot less, he said. Something's definitely changed since VW was caught fiddling its diesel emissions tests in the US. Car companies are accelerating plans for electric vehicles. Volvo says that after 2019, every new model will have some sort of electric engine on board. Jaguar's launching a rather gorgeous rival to the Tesla. But big problems still remain. Every significant journey needs planning. Someone at work, no names, tried to get to England's West Country in his new electric car last week, and didn't check the charge points properly. The first two were broken, he had not checked their status online in advance. Electric cars are also expensive. They are hard to charge if you live in a terraced house. The batteries lose power after a few years, and the country will need extra power stations to cope if everyone suddenly starts charging their cars. Diesel and petrol cars work because they are so convenient. Go anywhere. Fill up in minutes. And they can be very cheap to buy. Electric cars aren't nearly there yet. Nissan was one of the first automakers to market an electric vehicle to the masses when it launched the first Leaf in 2010. The Leaf became the world's biggest selling, all-battery car, with more than 280,000 units sold. Despite heavy investment, electric vehicles still represent only a fraction of conventional vehicle sales. Just over 2 million electric vehicles were registered worldwide as of 2016, according to the International Energy Agency, just a slice of the more than 80 million vehicles sold last year. One big opportunity is China. Automakers are jostling for a piece of the world's biggest car market ahead of the introduction of new rules designed to fight pollution. China wants electric battery cars and plug-in hybrids to account for at least one-fifth of its vehicle sales by 2025. European production of the last generation Leaf has taken place in Sunderland, which has produced more than 70,000 of the electric vehicles.